So good morning, everyone. Welcome to this third day of the SESAR Innovation Days. I hope you are all enjoying the program so far. It is my pleasure to welcome on board this morning for some keynote speech, Mrs. Vanessa Ruyer-Franco. Vanessa is a senior manager at the European Business Aviation Association. She's been very active on the SESAR program, coordinating the view of the business aviation airspace users. Yesterday, we heard about the air navigation service providers, and basically as well from air traffic controllers, how innovation can help the future recovery that we hope will come soon in the aviation domain. And today we have a different view, of the airspace users, and Vanessa will give us her view on how things are ahead of us in terms of what we can expect from innovation. Over to you, Vanessa.
Thank you. So I hope you can see my slides. Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to be with you today, to be sitting in front of my screen. Why I would have been preferred to be in front of you in person, but it's how it is today. I think it's a new norm, and it will be the case for still a couple of weeks. So we have to adapt. We have to adopt new ways of working based on new technologies, and that's what we are going to talk about today. But before doing so, I would like just to introduce you the business aviation sector and my association. So in few words, what is the European Business Aviation Association? So we are the voice of our sector in Europe. We represent over 700 companies from across the entire value chain. And meaning mainly some operators, so the ones who are operating the flights, so they are our full members. And then we have as well associate members, who are so the companies who are providing services to the operators themselves or to the sector in general, fueling, taxiing, law companies, insurance, or companies offering service at the airports. We have also airports being members of the associations who are offering or are receiving a lot of business aviation flights, like Le Bourget Airport, which is the largest one in Europe. We have as well the companies producing aircraft for business aviation, Embraer, Dassault Aviation, Gulfstream, just to name a couple of them, Bombardier as well. Then I would like just to have a few words about what do we contribute in terms of for the economy, the European economy. So we contribute with 87 million euros in turnover to the European economy. We do provide 374,000 jobs, direct and indirect, and we also offer quite good connections to different cities and regions. We have a better network than the airlines, since we fly to 3 more destinations than the airlines do. Few words, what are our policy priorities? They are basically very similar to the ones that our colleagues from the other associations, aviation associations, do deal with. We are calling for proportionate regulation, harmonized implementation of the rules. That's of key importance, in particular for our members who are SMEs. We, of course, follow a lot of regarding safety issues. Our members are also really committed to the delivery and the implementation of environmental measures for achieving the European Green Deal objectives. And I will talk about to you a bit more in detail about it later. And last but not least, what we are going to talk in detail today, it's are a call for always maintaining and improving the connections in Europe through a better access to airports and airspace, the reform of the air traffic management, which is so the main focus of today's and the Single European Sky package. And so here it's so better regulation of the Single European Sky and including the ones which are under discussion. A few figures as well about type of aircraft that we do operate. Since, as you can see on the slides, we operate a huge variety of aircraft types. 150 in comparison to the airline, our airlines colleagues do operate around 50 types of aircraft. And that is mainly linked to the type of operation that we offer. We fly anywhere in the world and to any time of airfield. And in 2/3 of the cases, we fly to regional or secondary, even tertiary airports. So we do operate with a lot of flight jets, light jets and turboprop. This is in fact 2/3 of the European fleet, business aviation fleet. So here just a slide showing you in more detail the connection, the connectivity, the network of the business aviation, and in the right side, how most important markets in Europe, France, Germany, UK, are the ones quoted in that slide. I would like just to come back on that very important objective, which is, of course, to achieve a better, a greener aviation. Business aviation is committed to it, as, of course, the whole aviation sector. The good proof of it, I will say, is the publication, a recent publication of the Aviation Roundtable report on the recovery of European aviation. That's a very important piece of documents that the whole aviation sector have signed up with other associations and NGOs. It's really a pact towards a sustainable recovery. You cannot see it in the left, in the corner of the slide. You can see it when you will receive the slide, but it's a way for us to build back better in terms of passengers' confidence, sustainability, competitions, and of course to make best use of the digital solutions and to build resilience to the overall system. The next slides at the end, I will not deal with that. It's at the end of that set of slides that will be shared with you after today's webinar. There will be a backup slides about how we have been impacted by the COVID. I deliberately decided not to go too much into the details because I'm rather looking to be positive and to look toward the future. It's what we are talking about, innovation in the future. But we have been highly impacted by the COVID as any other airspace users. So let's talk about our priorities for ATM research and innovation. So we are talking about, of course, innovation. So we have to go through an adaptation phase in order to embrace even more digitalization and the automation. That's also talking about integration of systems, integration of all airspace users, and it's about towards decarbonization. So in order to achieve the European Green Deal. So innovations, what you can do with your great ideas, what innovations can help in order to build a new ATM animal. And here a little joke, it's about how to build an ATM gen. So, of course, COVID-19 is still around the corner, but has been sized or considered as an opportunity to build back better. I will say that EBA is also of that opinion to a certain extent. And with regard to ATM, the Single European Sky Package 2 and the SESAR R&D SESAR 3 will be key tools in order to set the building blocks for a sustainable ATM system, for a better resilient, for a system being better resilient to any level of capacity, while maintaining the same level of safety. That's of key importance. And then that cannot be done by random. We consider that the program should be setting better priorities, also in consideration of the resources of each other in the future, and should be rather more focused on the existing technologies. What is existing today, and what can we do with what exists today? So not to reinvent the wheel. The SESAR program has been so far more or less better performance focus. We would like to go towards the path of more technology focus. And so here are a couple of the main streams we would like our SESAR R&D to handle, or to continue to handle. Don't get me wrong. A lot of stuff have already been tackled already, but we want to continue in that path for SESAR 3. PBN applications, for instance, with possible generic RNP IR. I would say with the increased glide slopes, those just two examples, but the RNP procedures are key enablers to make the ATM more sustainable and to achieve the European Green Deal. And with PBN, we would like the program to even continue and to further explore PBN stars for independent access to airports, other than the hubs, other than airports which are than hubs that are locating in the same TMA. So, for instance, the Bourget, to improve the access to smaller airports which are close to hubs. The same with Amman, being deployed at hub level, and again to ensure a better access to other airports that in the same TMA. And why it's also about the connectivity, which are one of our key priority that I explained you today earlier. Not sure that you can see the slides, but you can see it when you will receive the slides. We are also really willing to see the program to boost even more a better connection between the upper airspace and the TMA, or between the upper airspace and the lower airspace. This is one of our key requests when we were discussing the airspace architecture study. So this is also of key importance to us. Another key element is make the 4D RBT a reality at network level. From point of view, that's not far for being possible yet, or that's not yet a reality, mainly because our key enablers are still not working properly or not yet delivered. Data link mainly. And so I think it's of key priority for us in order to ensure a better trajectory, better predictability, and strategic conflict detection. Another key area for key importance for business aviation aircraft, which are able to fly in different type of environments, and for instance are able to reach any flight level in a very quicker manner than compared to legacy carriers or regular aircraft. It's to be able to ensure a free flight and free routes horizontally and vertically at and above flight level 410, and it's also to free more airspace for the regular traffic. And so last but not least on that slide about digitalization, it goes together with cybersecurity, additional cybersecurity threats. So more protections are here required, more cybersecurity technology in order to cope with the necessary level of resilience, of reliability, of integrity of the data. For instance, just to give you an example in a way to protect EGNOS, when EGNOS-based approaches from jamming, interfacing, from spoofing, jamming. Another key enabler needs to be even further worked on are the CNS, towards building the CNS evolution. Communication, VDL2 is not the communication means of the future. So the future tools need to be prepared. The work has already been started, of course, but some more needs to be done in order to ensure the proper uptake of those new communication tools from the market, from our members. So LDAC, SATCOM, solutions based on IP protocols. And we would also like to have some work being done on the uptake of 4G or 5G solutions, and specifically of key interest for the traffic at the lower altitude. Navigation also of key importance in order to ensure the proper Galileo uptake and the future Galileo services that Galileo will offer in high level accuracy services that has been which going to be delivered and has been developed by the GSA, the European GNSS Agency. The CNS also includes surveillance. We, EBA, with our colleagues from the General Aviation Rotorcraft and other members of the airspace users community, we are calling for NASB for all in a proper manner. So offering solutions adapted to all of them, to all GA, General Aviation Rotorcraft, being affordable to them and to all community, and to the drones as well, of course, so to be adapted to all and being interoperable solutions, and also offering additional parameters in order not to have one box being able to be used for several functionalities. Here as well, we can see a need for being able to uptake what solutions based on 4G and 5G can offer, building the bridge as well with the data which has already used and made available by the Flight Radar 24 and FlightAware, keeping in mind that they are privacy issued and GDPR issue. So this is need to be tackled as well. But I think that those source of data have reliable data to be used also within the system. Final point, but of key importance, is the proper integration of all airspace users' needs. So the new entrants, but as said, the current traditional airspace users. So from our side, further work needs to be done on the large drones up to 25 kilos, which are drones not yet certified sometimes, and which are causing safety issues. So here this needs to be tackled. And another of key importance to ensure a fair and smooth integrations of all airspace users in the sky is to ensure the proper setting of the European segregation in a way it will be based on close cooperation with all airspace users' needs and not being imposed to anyone. Well, so here we are coming to the end of the presentation. So as you are all researchers, we are inviting you to think, let's say, out of the box. And we have been doing so in the past, since aviation has been at the forefront, I think, in terms of developing new technologies, and has been even a source of inspiration for other sectors. But the issue for us is, of course, for us, the whole sector, is the uptake of those new technologies due to the time required to produce the standards and to deploy those new technologies. So I think if we have a plea to say, since you are researchers and we are talking about building the things differently, so we are really calling on your help to speed up this process and the uptake of those new technologies and communications, surveillance, navigation. CNS is one of the key tools, the key areas to do so, to start. So I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and I would like to wish you a nice end year celebration, and please help us to create this new ATM animal. Thank you. Any question, I am at your disposal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, for this very clear and inspiring as well presentation. I think you've laid down quite a number of challenges, but as well solutions that we have ahead of us. Since maybe Christmas time is coming, if you had a wish for a kind of present at year end beyond the recovery of aviation, if we look a bit at the technologies that you've been mentioning, what would it be? What do you think is the things that you really like to have implemented quickly and across the European airspace?
if I may, if I can promote a personal
Yes.
willingness, it's just to have a proper protocols, testing protocols in order to make our business back to life. Because for the moment, we are all in a survival mode.
Yeah.
And just calling their governments to implement the guidance being produced by EASA and the ESSCC. So sorry, it's not linked to
No, it's
ATM,
okay.
but it will help the ATM.
It's fair enough. I think if there's no recovery, there's no future anyway.
Exactly.
So we'd better go through that quickly. Okay, thanks a lot again, Vanessa, for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you.
Been really our
Thank
pleasure
you
to have you in this keynote. I'd like to hand over now to Dirk for the menu of the day. What's on the program today, Dirk?
Right, thank you, Florian. Thank you, Vanessa, for this interesting presentation, which I enjoyed very much. I hope you enjoyed the networking yesterday. If you did, I have good news for you because there's more to come today. Try it. I tried every piece of it, and it was great fun. Specifically, the virtual coffee. I highly recommend that. I also like to congratulate the winners of the quiz yesterday. For data protection reasons, I'm not at liberty to disclose their names, but they will receive the prizes they have gained. And we will now look at what's up for today. So we will have 2 technical sessions right now on airports and on trajectory prediction, and the links to the Zoom sessions will be posted in the chat whilst I speak. So you'll be able to click on these links and go directly to the Zoom. Please don't do that whilst I speak. Please bear with me for 2 or 3 minutes more. We have virtual networking after the technical sessions, and what we offer during this virtual networking are 2 options. The first one is the chat roulette, where you are mixed up with other people in a virtual room and you just chat away with these people, an opportunity to meet new people. This is where the link, posted on the SIDS website and in the Hoover application will lead you. And you can also use the Hoover application just to message people and also look at the posters. We will then have the virtual exhibition as we did yesterday and the day before. The virtual exhibition is your opportunity to look at the posters. The way to get there is either through the Hoover application on your PC or through the app. So you would click on those, you would typically see a poster, you would be able to watch a video, and in many cases you can also meet the exhibitors in a virtual booth. If we look at the afternoon, we have a very interesting panel that we would very much encourage you to listen to. We have very illustrious participants, for example, Steve Bradford from the FAA. So don't miss this opportunity. We have afterwards a global networking coffee, and that is the same or a similar setup as we had yesterday. So by the time we will have this global networking coffee, it'll be 9:30 on the East Coast in the US. So we'll probably have more people there than we did yesterday. Yesterday was a little early, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So this global networking coffee is organized in association with ATCA, ICAO, and this SGU, of course. We will be using the same platform we used yesterday, Remo, and what you retained maybe from yesterday is please close VPN, try to log on Google Chrome ideally, and close all other conferencing devices that may claim your camera. And if you do, it should work fine. It did so yesterday, and I greatly enjoyed it. And that's it from me. I would encourage you now to click on the link of the technical session that you would like to visit, and I'll see you in one of those. Bye-bye.